by First Bank of Shelbyville. And Kincaid Service Company. Let's talk some sports. Here are your hosts, David Thomas, Bill Anderson, and Kenny Parker.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Bedford County Sports Talk Live. I'm David Thomas, Mr. Bill Anderson, Kenny Parker, and
Who's
Jason.
that?
Jason Boyette.
No, wait a minute.
And the black and gold.
There's something different.
What?
He's
yeah.
He's
in orange. I thought he wore black.
No, but he shaved his facial hair off.
Did.
Jason, tell everybody real quick what would make a man of your stature for years that had facial hair shaved?
It's been 8 years, and I told my students at Thomas Magnet School in 3rd grade, if they win the booster-thon, we'll shave it off in front of the class. And I brought my electric trimmers, and we trimmed it Monday morning.
Cool job.
They won it.
You the man.
Well,
that's it.
Right. You know how to motivate, I guess.
That's
there
right.
You go.
Yes, do what you got to do to win.
That's right. That's right. Took one for the team.
That's right.
Shaved my head many a time.
There you go.
Like that really mattered. But
yeah. All two of them.
All three of them went gone.
All right. Well, we want to thank our sponsors for allowing us to sit down here today and talk sports. First Bank here in Shelbyville and
Kincaid
Service
Company
right here on Madison Street, where Service is their middle name. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and dive into some Bedford County high school sports.
Kincaid Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street.
quit last year.
All right, we're back in here to talk some sports. Bill, I know you got a lot of scores written down over there. Why don't you run through some of them? Let's stop along the way and talk about each program.
Let's just start with Shelbyville girls softball. You can't find a score.
Shelbyville girls they're down this year. I had them yesterday, and I've had them other times. They have no seniors, about 3 juniors, maybe 4 juniors, and they're pretty much freshmen and sophomore. And it's going to be tough. Pitching's down, and their best pitcher got hurt. So I had them yesterday with Riverdale JV game, and they're down this year. So, but they're working hard, and girls had good attitudes, and they played, but they're just down right now.
All right, boys soccer 1-0 over Columbia. Their first game of the year. Shelbyville soccer wins the first one. Go to baseball. Coach Chase got them going, guys. They're 3-0 already. They beat Murfreesboro Magnet first game 6-3. Beat Franklin County 8-4. Stephen Bobo, I think, went yard in that one. And I think Stephen and William both lit up Marshall County pretty good, 17-4.
Yeah,
so Shelbyville boys are out here rolling 3-0.
Yeah, playing well.
And they play Brighton out of West Tennessee this week at home. If everybody wants to come out and check them out, it's on the 17th. Cascade girls softball lost to Blackman 7-3 first game of the year. Did beat Cannon County 8-0. They lost to Columbia 7-3.
And they beat. I had a game in between there. They won. They're 2-2 right now. Forget who the team was that they beat on Tuesday night, but yeah, they're 2-2. And in the first game against Blackman, you could tell they hadn't been on the field all year long,
right,
and made about 7 or 8 errors in the first inning and gave up 5 of those 7 in the first 2 innings. The next night they came back and they ruled Franklin County. That's who it was. They beat Franklin County 15-5 in 5 innings, and then whatever happened after that. But they're getting a little better. I think they just barely got beat, according to what I saw with Coach T. 2 points yesterday, 2 runs, 7-5 against Columbia.
All right, 7-3 is what he had.
Playing some big schools, though. That's going to pay off later on.
Well, Cascade boys are really rolling, guys. They beat Eagle 12-2, and then had a doubleheader with Richland. Cascade 14, Richland 4. Cascade 14, Richland 2. They have 10 run to everybody they played so far.
And Wiki Parker, the sophomore, hit 2 out against Eagleville hit another one out the first time they beat Richland, and I don't know what he's done since then, but they're playing pretty good ball right now.
So early on, it looks like Shelby and Cascade are really
Baseball
rolling
is
in
going to be
baseball.
pretty good, yes.
All right, we'll take a look at community and the community girls softball. You talk about rolling, guys. 13-0 over Cornersville, 12-0 over Moore County, 15-0 over Cannon County. There's a theme. Nothing.
Nothing.
And then they beat Zion Christian 11-1. What a roll!
And
They're on a roll.
They beat somebody else I saw in there too, but I'm telling you, he's pretty deep. I had him earlier in the year in a scrimmage game, and he can go 6 pitchers.
That's
pitchers.
deep.
And his best pitcher, his number 1 pitcher, was still playing basketball at the time.
Wow.
So they're pretty deep. They're pretty good too.
Community men's soccer 4-0 over Middle Tennessee Christian Schools. So they won their first game. And Coach Davis and the boys played the Tennessee Monarchs. Community won the first game 11-1. The next day, the Monarchs beat them 7-6. And then you had Community and Franklin County. Community goes down 13-3, and then they played Eagleville and lost 6-8. And I just wonder if Eagleville's quite as good as they have been the last few years.
Yeah, that's a question that I'm wondering too. You talk about community soccer. Community and Cascade played yesterday.
Another battle of the Bedford.
To a 0-0 tie.
All right. That's happening all the time, aren't they?
Yeah, they played their soccer went yesterday 0-0 tie.
Let's congratulate the Webb girls for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
State
Again,
champions again.
4 out of the last 5 years.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. And 6 years ago, they couldn't win an inter-squad game.
No.
But 4 out of the last 5 years, state champions is pretty impressive.
The Webb boys in baseball won 8-7, as we talked about last week over Tullahoma. That was a huge upset. They lost to Oakland 11-8, beat Smyrna 5-3, and then they play on the 15th, which it's going to get rained out.
Yeah.
Nobody's playing.
Nobody's playing today.
Men's soccer, Webb beat Columbia Academy 4-2. And I'll mention something else. Providence Christian and Brentwood Academy, BGA. This was the boys' final.
Mm-hmm.
And the only team to beat both of them was the Webb boys. They also lost to them in a split, but the Webb boys at one time had beaten both these teams, and they're all in the same region.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty impressive right there.
Yeah.
Just mention a couple other things. Lincoln County, Coffee County girls out of our region both made the state tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't seed the tournament. So you had Bradley Central and Coffee County in the first round.
But the 2 best teams first.
2 best teams in
teams
the
first.
tournament played.
Yeah, I don't like
game.
the blind draw. I think they need to take a look at it and say,
I thought is it straight
supposed
up
to
blind
be
draw?
blind
Straight up blind draw. Always has been. Now, soccer is the other way. Soccer is seeded. But basketball
well, the
is not.
NCAA tournaments, you put
I was thinking
best
softball
teams away from each
seeded
other.
also.
Yeah, it may be, but I know
think
basketball
so.
is not. And this
No.
Coffee County coach was not happy about it.
He came out.
I can
Yeah.
understand why.
They got in a hole like 20-3, came back in the game. They said Bradley Central the second half, they won 53-44, but they were holding the ball at the end, holding on to 6-point leads, freezing them out.
Sure.
There wasn't a shot clock. And Cookville beat Lincoln County 49-37, put them out. So our region's out in girls basketball.
Moore County got beat their first game, and Van Buren County made it to the finals in the girls. And Chad, Moore County beaten Van Buren by 20 at Van Buren and at Moore County both times. They've played them twice this year and beat them by 20 both times.
You know, you can have a really good year like that and get in that
just have
tournament.
to have
you don't
one.
know what's going to happen.
I was talking to somebody, said they shot 24%.
That's
the first game of the tournament, and that's what cost them the game.
well. Talking about getting hot and getting cold, we're going to move into some college basketball here.
Right.
Before we do, we need to talk about Kincaid,
Service.
company.
where Service is their middle name. Josh, my wife was talking to me about getting a refrigerator hauled off last night. If I buy a new one, they're going to come get it for me.
Right.
You think
Even
it's
in
worth-
this
it's
weather
worth
right
it?
here.
Yeah, probably so. You think it's worth it just to buy a refrigerator to get them to haul it off?
Yes,
It is. Okay.
absolutely. Where are you going to take it?
I have no idea.
How's that back of yours doing?
Not very good.
Yeah, that's
I can tell you
exactly
where a
right.
lot of people take them.
Yeah.
That's not
Go
good.
out.
All you got to do is drive a bus, and you can find
You
out where a
find
lot of
them,
people take them.
Yeah. You can tell me the good spots, Kenny. No, but Kincaid's
They're
been
already
around.
used.
Kincaid's been around for so long, and they're just their reputation is impeccable. I mean, if you got to have any type of appliance, electronics,
Right.
they even got furniture, they got it all.
And we'll finance.
Will they?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a good deal. Well, we're going to take a break, and we're going to hear from First Bank and them, and we'll be back to talk some college basketball.
Kincaid Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street.
Alabama will get hammered big today.
All righty, here we go. We're sitting here talking, and commercial stop. And
We
into
couldn't
it,
wait. We're
guys.
so
You
excited.
heard me
Wait.
say I
Exactly.
think Alabama will not fare well because they played so good yesterday.
Yeah. Well, Bill,
Yeah.
run down
And
some
it's-
scores there. Tell us where we stand
All right.
on this
I
tournament.
hope I'm wrong.
Bridgestone Arena right here in Nashville. And the Tennessee Vols yesterday had a big win, 83-72 over Texas. And Texas had upset Vanderbilt, then upset Texas A&M to get there.
Yeah.
And really, Tennessee dominated this ball game.
Well, and I'll say this: the top four, all four won
All four
yesterday
won.
because I asked, and you know what they all got? 2-game bye.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
It's a
the
big
other
deal.
teams had
It's a big
had
deal.
legs,
Yeah.
had to play back to back, playing their third game in 3 days.
But they're also the 4 best teams, too.
Yeah, and they
Four
are
best
the
teams
4
made
best
it.
teams,
Yeah,
and
they
that
made
that
it.
speaks.
Yeah,
And
it
the
does.
SEC may have been pretty smart by doing that to
Yeah.
help their seeding.
Yep.
I think they are. I think it was.
That
very
might have
smart.
had a whole lot of
One
reasons.
question I have: Texas making that run. They were kind of sitting on the bubble coming into the Tennessee game. They're out now.
They're
aren't
out.
they?
They're out,
not going
period.
to make it. Are
They
they?
didn't win 20 games. I
Yeah,
said
what,
all along.
19 and
They're
whatever.
19 and 16.
Yeah,
That's not
that's
getting
not
you in the
gonna get it.
tournament.
But who's going to make it out of this batch?
Vanderbilt's still getting in because they won 20 games and they've got 4 big quad 1 wins.
Are we
They're
going to have
still getting
10?
in.
Are we going to have 10?
We'll have
That's
at
the
least
question.
10. Might have 11. We're not going to have 13 like Lenardi's saying, but I think we'll have 11.
Okay, so between Tennessee and Auburn,
Which is at noon today. Auburn beat Ole Miss 62-57. At noon today, Tennessee and Auburn. Last time it was a 2-point game, and it was a bloodbath.
Yeah, it was.
You want to see physical basketball, that's what this is going to be.
Remember,
It's
they were
gonna be
patching
like
up
football.
noses and
Uh-huh.
nosebleeds.
12
and, yeah.
12 o'clock today. And then you get Florida and Alabama because Florida beat Missouri 95-81, which was kind of our sleeper team. And Florida handled them. Florida's the
Really
real
good.
deal.
Florida.
Alabama beat Kentucky 99-70. So in the afternoon game, 25 minutes after Auburn, Tennessee, you get Florida, Alabama.
Well, and it's when you play that well, it's hard to come back playing a second game just back to back like that right there.
okay. So where do you
I'm
guys
hoping that-
where do you guys see these top 4 teams being seeded now? You know, you see Auburn as at a 1 spot.
Oh, yeah, they're
I
one. They're
think they
locked in.
all 4 be no worse than a 2.
Okay, you
Agreed.
see Florida as a 1 or a 2.
Depends.
They're
Depends
one.
on the
Right
day.
here.
They're one.
It depends.
The winner of the game today, I think.
No, they're still on 1.
It depends. I think it depends. If Alabama beats Florida and goes on and has their 1,
Is Tennessee a 2 or a 3?
2.
2.
Okay.
How much does the tournament really matter?
It
That's what
doesn't.
I wonder. Is it
This
already?
thing was already
is it already?
It's predetermined right now where you're
Right.
seated.
Yeah, probably
You
so.
think so?
Yes, I really do.
I kind of do too.
If Tennessee beats Auburn, though, does that make them bump up?
Nope.
There's no chance. They've
Nope.
got, what, 6 losses?
The only thing you might see is Tennessee, and probably should, bump Alabama as a 2 seed to be a higher 2 than
right.
Alabama. They really should be because their record's better and they beat them head to head.
Okay.
So, because that's
So-
why you see it. The
I
top
mean,
one,
they beat them head to head. The other team beat them. They only play one time.
they'll play once.
Okay.
But you seed it this way. Auburn, who's going to be the number 1 seed in the tournament? It appears to be Duke.
Yeah, but how
Probably.
bad's the?
How bad does
Flag
that
got
injury
hurt.
of Flag
Did they
hurt
get
that?
one hurt? Yeah.
Yeah, the big
Cooper
boy.
Flag.
The 2 seed's probably Houston, and Auburn's probably the 3-1 seed. Florida's probably going to be the 4-1 seed.
seed.
And then you get into the 2s where Tennessee and Alabama are. But I would think Tennessee should be above Alabama. But the way they've got it right now, Alabama's above Tennessee, the way I
And
saw
after
it.
the 2s, everything gets a little blurry. You know,
Yeah.
it's always.
Yeah.
So, do y'all have any sleepers coming into the?
That's why they're still asleep.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
a bunch of them
There's
out
a bunch
there.
of them. But do y'all sense anybody making a?
I got 2 sleepers for you: Drake and McNeese State.
Okay.
See, I
There's
don't-
all- that's
You want
what's
super
cool about-
sleepers.
That's what's cool about the NCAA
Yeah,
tournament.
it
There's
is.
always
It
that
is.
little school.
McNeese,
comes
You
in
know,
the
McNeese
next
State,
the
and Drake.
one that I go back to, and as I think about the lady, the nun that was there, her team, what made it to the sweet
Loyola,
the
Chicago,
final eight,
or whatever.
yeah. And that, I mean, that's when you get a sleep.
Yeah, that one kind of hurts because they put Tennessee out. Remember that?
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Was
those
that
were-
okay?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
The SEC championship game is tomorrow. Tomorrow at noon, and then Selection Sunday is tomorrow. We're going
Right,
to see where everybody's seated after that.
Brackets go up Sunday night.
Yeah, they do, don't they? Always a fun
March
time.
Madness is here.
It is.
Let's talk Conference USA a second. MTSU. First of all, the boys finally beat Louisiana Tech, who they lost to twice, 77-75 in double overtime. But they got beat in a tough loss yesterday,
It was
60-58. That was a tough one. And MTSU's not going to
Who'd they beat? Who'd they
play Jacksonville State.
Yeah, well, whoever wins it,
You got to win the tournament to get in. You're not getting in
nobody's going to get at large, men's or women's.
Men's or women's. That leads us to Coach
And the
Rick
women,
Insel.
he's playing today, right?
They beat Kennesaw State to start the tournament 73-46. I like the quote from Coach Insel. We're not here to watch movies. We're not here to socialize. We're here to win the blank tournament. Is that not Coach Insel?
That's blank.
What's it? Fill in the blank.
Whatever you want to put in there.
Whatever you want to put in there. MTSU went on a 24-0 run in the second quarter of that game, and we're ahead 41-8 at the half. MTSU is the number one defense in the United States of America, allowing 51 points a game. Yesterday, they beat Western Kentucky 71-63. That game was closer than it looked.
That's always good to beat Western, though.
Always good to beat Western.
Always good to beat Western.
Now, you're facing Liberty, the team that blew MTSU out a couple of weeks ago, but MTSU beat them early in the season. The winner of the game goes to the tournament. The other one, you go in the NIT.
MTSU will be ready.
I think they'll be ready.
Oh, Rick will have them ready.
Yeah, they'll be
And
ready.
I think the fact that they just drilled you the way they did
I think
might
that helps
help
mentally.
MTSU.
Oh, yeah, it's motivation.
Motivation.
Factor. Always.
And then let's mention Tennessee baseball for a minute. They were 17-0. Then last night they got down. They're 18-0 now because I believe they came back and beat Florida last night. That didn't look good. They're number one in the country again, defending national champions. Surely the game today, I'm sure, is rained out. There'll be a double hitter with Florida and Tennessee tomorrow. But the balls are rolling. 13 teams from the SEC in baseball's top 25.
Tennessee baseball it's like you snapped your fingers and they went from here to, just overnight.
They're loaded. They're loaded with talent, man.
And he's really got that transfer portal and NIL figured out.
Oh, he does.
He's really got
Before
it
he got
figured
that pitcher last night from Ole Miss. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, most all those kids have got a chance to play in pro ball. That's in that starting.
Somebody told me he's recruiting at a level that Nick Saban almost did in football, where he's getting whoever he wants is what he's getting.
Picking them. Yeah.
And then he's hitting the transfer portal and getting what he wants there too.
Yeah.
They're all lined up at the door waiting to get in, and he picks his best. And
I don't think he's the most popular coach in college baseball, the SEC. I don't think
nobody is.
You don't think they like the fur coat when he puts it on?
No.
When you win so much, you're not popular with anybody.
Wow, guys, it's raining hard.
We got it.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
We're going to talk about the SEC now. Just the dominance, it seems like, that we have in all sports.
All
now.
sports.
We just mentioned baseball.
Softball, same way.
Yeah,
Softball,
I know.
same way.
Yeah. What has created this monster, guys? And I know it's the consolidation of a lot of big schools coming together, but what else is it?
NIL and the money that they put into the facilities.
Yeah.
That recruits the money. I heard somebody the other day said one of these SEC programs was redoing their weight room and some of their facilities, and said, when you get done with it, you better be thinking about in 2 or 3 years what you're going to do to advance the level of that one.
Wow.
Because, that's just the way what they're doing. Their nutrition programs, it's when I went years ago when Alabama started, I thought, nutrition program. They got nutrition programs in their gym, in their weight room, where I need to lose weight. They give me something to eat before I go to practice. You go at the practice, they don't just take a water break. They got a nutrition bar break. This is happening all over.
So basically,
the science of everything.
The details that are not being overlooked by the SEC and maybe another big conference. It's turned almost to where college athletics now is a professional game.
It is a professional game.
It is.
It is a professional game.
And the SEC pays for the best coaches too.
Absolutely they do.
Top to bottom.
That's got to be a factor.
And their NIL packages are
the money. All right, let's talk about that money. It's money.
It's all money.
All this stuff costs a ton. So the geographic location,
it helps.
Mm-hmm. Are we saying then that the money is in the southeastern United States for athletics? Other conferences have they have it, but
They do.
it is just
But you
like
don't.
we're
our
more
conference,
passionate.
everybody has money.
Our fan base is
It's
just more
passionate.
passionate.
That's it
It
right
is.
there.
The fan
It's
base is
passionate.
passionate.
But
Yeah,
the
it
way you
means
split
more.
this
But
TV
That's
money
saying
up,
it just means more. It really does mean more.
It does.
I mean, you know,
So the money is
and
flowing.
the
to
weather. The weather. I mean,
weather.
I was going to go to weather.
with weather, you get these softball teams. These girls are good.
They can play
Where's
outside most of the year.
They play
Yeah.
outside. When you look at your other softball teams, or California and Arizona, you don't hear them up in the north
No,
that are usually pretty good.
too cold.
It's too cold, and they have to do all their practice in indoor arenas. And
Well, all I got to say is it's a good time to be an SEC fan.
Yeah, it is.
Who would have ever thought Vanderbilt would participate in NIL like they are now? That's because
I
the
know.
TV
you
money.
have to.
I know.
You have
Well, they're
to.
getting them. They're
Well,
getting them in basketball. They're getting them in baseball.
They
They're
have
getting them
to.
in football now.
Yeah, don't turn your back on their football team. I
No,
tell
I
you
don't.
what, man. That's,
No, they got to. They want to be part of the program. They
Which
don't
is
just-
elevated. Let's admit this one, though. NIL has elevated some of the smaller schools that didn't have it. Now they've got money to get in the game now.
Sure. Well, they always got the same money, but now they're getting with this TV package and the money that they're getting, and they want to compete.
Now, eventually, you're going to see some sort of salary cap implemented, I would
I
think.
agree.
salary
100%.
cap.
No,
That's
I do.
wild
Yeah.
to even
It's
hear
going,
that.
you're going
talking
to hear it.
You're going to hear it. It's coming.
It's coming. There's going to be a cap, and they'll give you,
And then there needs to be a contract.
and that's probably coming.
about. Wow, this is
it's
crazy.
Where you
stuff,
get one
man.
move.
Well,
I like to see them where they just get to
One
jump
time.
one time.
Well,
You're not jump 3 or 4 times.
No.
and for the players, if they come in and Kenny Parker's promised this NIL money and he comes in, well, you see some of them jump right quick and go somewhere else, and we're going, well, he just got he jumped because he was told he was going to get this and they didn't get it to him.
All right, I want to talk to y'all about something else. I want your opinion on this. The Diego Pavia lawsuit that pretty much deemed that his military academy playing a football did not count toward his eligibility. It was basically a junior college. I mean, there's going to be a lot of other junior colleges out there that have the 2-year programs. I can think of where Mason Cunningham went.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Northeast Mississippi, and it's a 2-year school. Then he transferred to Liberty. Of course, he had 2 more years of eligibility there. Now, are some of these 2-year schools, is it going to count? Or is this lawsuit going to shift the dynamics to where some of these kids are going to be playing 6 years?
Here's the thing. With this NIL and this transfer portal, a lot of your high school kids are going to have to go that route because they're not going to be given.
Right.
They're not going to be given. Your elite will be given, but you brought Mason Cunningham up. They're not going to be given an opportunity to go to.
Yeah, well, he was going to Tennessee Tech when Watson Brown was there.
Mhm.
New coach comes in, he didn't even get a contact.
Right.
It's like he's left in the dark. Oh, by the way, you're not playing here. We brought a quarterback from Temple down here.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
So Mason's sitting here without anything to do. But back to my point, is this lawsuit going to open the door for more lawsuits from just kids that they get into college and they're starting to have a good career and they only have 2 years? And are they going to start filing a suit? And is there going to be a class action somewhere down the road to where they can get this
Can't tell you that
eligibility?
it won't because we're lawsuit crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're lawsuit crazy.
So that's kind of my point. I mean,
26-year-olds playing in college.
exactly.
But I do think the Vanderbilt quarterback,
Well,
it wasn't
we
just
got
a
that.
junior college, it was a military
Right.
academy, which was
Right.
a little different too.
It
And I
is
don't
a
know that he played,
military.
and I don't know that he played football.
Yeah, he played football.
Did he play
2
or did he
years.
just sit on the bench?
Don't know about that, but he
That's
was on
the
the team
question.
for 2 years.
He was on the team for 2 years. As long
Yeah.
as you're on the team, you're on the team.
So
But
that's-
hey, COVID gave you 6 and 7
Well,
years.
that's
That's true.
COVID, the COVID party's over with.
I know, but still, you
COVID
were letting him
party's
go.
over with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have
John
great- we have,
Fulkerson was at Tennessee
We have
for a
white-headed
decade.
people playing college football.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't Fulkerson there
Yeah.
like 8 years or something?
Yeah.
Tennessee?
Oh God,
Yeah.
man!
Yeah.
It's like my
Yeah.
kids
Some of
were,
the kids.
were babies and now they're grown and
It's
they
getting
would play
to
the
the
whole
point
time.
where you used to say if a college athlete had a kid, it was something else. Now they're having grandkids.
Yeah. All right, guys,
Yeah.
let's change gears and we
Yeah.
want to talk about your Titans. But before we do, let's hear from our sponsors one more time.
Incade Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street.
Alrighty, welcome back in here to Bedford County Sports Talk Live. We're now going to talk some NFL football, and of course, we got to start with the Titans. Bill, how did this week go for you as a fan?
Terrible.
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 Well, let's analyze it for a second.
You start off, you signed Dan Moore, an offensive tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was
Yes.
a fourth-round pick from Texas A&M.
Yes.
He gave up 12 sacks last year.
It's
So
better-
you take your your left tackle. Now we're moving him over to the right.
Are
That's
we?
playing this
That's where he
guy.
should
Oh, yeah.
be.
I was gonna say
That's where he should
Lay
be.
him on the right
I do
side?
think he's more natural.
They did him an injustice by playing him on the left last year. He's a right tackle.
That's why you don't
Okay.
take him in the top 5 in the NFL draft. Then you don't draft
he's-
right tackles there, or left guards in the top 10. And you did that the year before.
I'm telling you.
He'll
So,
be better there. He's
I
gonna be
agree.
better on the right.
Okay, does this sew up your left tackle?
No.
Everybody in Pittsburgh wanted him gone.
Well,
No, they didn't even want him back.
That's
And we
fine.
gave him $84 million, $50 million guaranteed. Way overpaid for this guy.
well, we'll see, but I don't disagree with that overpaying.
Okay, Tennessee Titans had 2 Pro Bowlers on the team, Jeffrey Simmons and their kicker, Ryan Stonehouse, who had the biggest leg and is an all-pro punter.
It's too big.
And
Don't tell me they got rid of
we
him.
cut him because he outkicks the coverage and kicks the ball too far.
They cut Stonehouse?
Yes, sir. And signed a guy named Hecker at 36 years old from the juggernaut Carolina Panthers.
The Panthers.
Well, he won't kick it as far though.
No,
No.
they'll kick it to
Yeah,
our
but his
coverage.
leg may be wore out.
We have to
because they had
stay.
kick
We
so
have to
much.
stay within our coverage, 20
If
yards
you
down
have
the
a
field.
problem with your punt coverage, it's not your punter's
You
fault
need to get down there
necessarily.
fast.
It might be the people making the
No,
tackles.
a lot of times it is your punt because if you kick it too far, if you're kicking it too far, you need to start working on elevation.
Well, here's the thing, Kenny. When you're kicking from your 15-yard line every time, you won't get as much
Yes,
distance
you
as
do.
possible.
And
Flip the
then-
field.
You wanna
and
go
then-
70
and
yards.
then when you do it, don't kick it down the middle of the field. Try to kick it where it goes out of bounds.
But you won't kick it 70, and he
Yeah,
can. And he was getting it. All right, now we got to go down there and make a tackle.
And then we got him blocked so much, we got his leg broken, his ACL torn, and now we cut the man.
I'm just glad when we punted instead of threw it to the other team.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true. We should think about third down.
Bill loves those
Yeah.
pick sixes.
Oh, I love him. That fumble six.
All
Too.
right.
But this guy, how many times to start the year was an NFL record? He had like 4 punts blocked in the first 3 games. Is that on your punter? He's getting that block, or you can't block in the punt? There was some special teams problems towards
It
the
all
punter.
depends. It could be the snap. It could be the punt. It could be the protection.
Let's get into the next guy.
All right.
All right.
All right, here's your guy that our fans loved him. He had 10 touchdowns last year. Oh,
did he?
NWI,
Right.
Nick Westbrook
That
and
one
Kine.
hurt.
That
That was
fan,
Jason
fan
Boyette.
favorite. Hey,
Jason
one of my
Boyette's
favorites.
favorite player.
down in the fourth quarter, how many times you see this
Yeah.
guy run? You just grab
Just
a
made
snatch a
plays.
ball,
I
made a
agree. I
play.
All right. Here we
And
go.
he,
2
how much
years.
did he cost?
2 years, $6 million.
There you go.
Now the Titans claimed after the fact we offered him the same deal and he went there anyway. They had all offseason to sign Nick Westbrook or Keenan. They didn't.
Who signed him?
The Miami Dolphins for 2
They got,
years,
they
$6
got a
million.
deal. They
But
got
the
a deal.
Titans come back and they sign a juggernaut, Van Jefferson. This guy's been on 3 teams in 3 years. And the guy from Pittsburgh,
What'd they give him?
about $2.5 million. So it's pretty
For
much
one year,
basically
1 year
a
deal.
1 year deal.
1 year deal.
We'll get to that in a minute. All these are 1 year
1 year
deals,
deal.
except a couple players.
Well,
Everything's
there's a
happening year
reason-
after next.
There's a reason
Been
for
saying that
1 year
20 years.
deals.
Sure.
There's reasons for 1 year deals.
But the question was asked by Ramon and Caleb, the Pittsburgh guy they had on 104.5, said, well, basically was trying to cover the Dan Moore thing. He goes, well, we tried to replace him every year, and he might be okay. Well, what about Van Jefferson? How was he in Pittsburgh? Again, another Steeler. With blocks, really good in the run game. Okay, that's good. What about that 4.39 speed? Said, oh, that was gone a long time ago. He's not very fast, and he can't get separation. Another good move.
Oh, God.
Here's another signing. Cody Barton, inside linebacker. 4 teams in 4 years. Is that a thing?
Journeyman.
We traded. He was a
He
third round
just
pick
needs
of
to
the
rent,
Seahawks.
not buy.
That's right.
We didn't give up a
Exactly.
draft pick for him, did we?
No, then we
All right.
traded Kenneth Murray to the Cowboys and swapped a 7th for a 6th.
So we got a 6 instead of a 7.
Yeah, moved up
All right.
one there.
That'll help.
Then we signed an edge rusher.
You're looking at positive
Well,
here. I
he is,
understand.
isn't
Let's be
Supposed
positive.
to.
You're pulling
Got
it out.
to.
Okay.
All right, the Titans signed an edge rusher. They call him. His name's Draymond Jones, 6'3", 180, 282, a third-round pick of the Vikings. Again, a guy that's been with the Seahawks, the Broncos, the Vikings, journeyman. But is he an edge player? He's 6'3", 281.
281?
Now,
That's a
he
big
was,
edge
as
player.
Blaine
He
Bishop
may
said,
be an edge player, but he ain't a run stopper.
but as Blaine Bishop said, he's a
He is
D'Amico Autry,
Oh, yeah.
and he played well at the D tackle, a guy that can maybe place a little bit of the outside defensive end slot. But he's not an edge guy. Seattle tried him at the edge. It's $51 million, and they just cut him. All right, good luck with that one.
Yeah. Okay.
1 year, $10 million right here.
Good luck. Good
Signed another guy. How about a backup guard named Blake Hance from Jacksonville?
We
4
after
years,
him, Jacksonville.
4 teams, 4 years. Another theme there. Love that one. Here's one I did like. They re-signed Sebastian Joseph Day, who I thought played well for us. That's a good one. The best move they made was Kevin Zeitler, who is a Pro Bowl offensive guard of the Detroit Lions, 6'4.5", 340. Imagine him on that right side now with Latham. I like this guy.
I thought you wanted Latham on the left.
Well, you've already moved him to the right because you did the other.
Yeah.
You paid him $9 million. The only problem is, how old is he?
35.
But 1 year deal, that's not too bad. Now, here may be the worst one of the bunch, guys.
The worst.
You need a quarterback.
Yeah.
You need a quarterback.
Wow, we got Levis.
But we're going to go get a veteran, right?
No, we got Levis.
We got a veteran we're going to go get. So let's go get Brandon Allen.
You know why they got him?
A clipboard holder.
backup.
He's a clipboard.
He holds the clipboard.
He holds the wire to the headphones.
This guy has played 18 games in 9 years total. Not started, played in. His career earnings, $9 million for 9 years. And he's been on a bunch of teams too, 4, 5, 6 teams.
But he's a Callahan connection.
Yeah, he was the third string quarterback of Cincinnati.
And he very well could be a person that can mentor Levis.
Okay,
Now,
don't even go there.
Here's the next negative. When you've done this, Jason, I think you're going to agree with me here.
Yeah.
You're picking Cam Ward at 1. You're not trading down.
Oh, my gosh.
That's what you're going to do.
The Braylon Allen
ready.
pick
Bust.
signals that you're getting ready to draft a quarterback.
Get ready.
Bust.
Sure.
I'm telling you. Busted the 2 quarterbacks, busted the guy from Penn State. The only one that in that whole group of those 4 is I'm taking Travis Hunter. Ain't no doubt in my mind.
I'm going to make a prediction, too. Out of the quarterbacks this year, Jackson Dart will end up being the best of the bunch.
I don't disagree with that.
I'm not a fan of Dart.
I'm not either,
think
but I think he's going to be better than him.
I think the one from Texas and the one from Louisville will be the better 2. And I know y'all don't. I find somebody to swap back with, and please, Giants.
I was going to say the Giants.
Please, Giants. Even if you just get one more pick.
Are the Browns definitely taking a quarterback?
I think they are. Unless the Kirk Cousins thing falls that way. Kirk Cousins is the one domino here that's still left.
Yeah.
He's not going to be in Atlanta this year. They're going to do something with him. They're not going to pay him that money to sit on the bench. He's going to be somewhere. It's either Cleveland or somewhere. Where's Aaron Rodgers go? The next domino's Rodgers.
All right, here's something. Roger Harrison comes in. The Titans want that number 1 pick next year.
Well, it looks like we're headed that way, sir.
Well, you have to get you a coach.
If they get a quarterback this year
right?
for the first pick, they'll get
exactly.
the number 1 pick
You'll be hiring a new coach at Thanksgiving or Halloween.
All right. So, is there any possible way? And I'm just
Hey,
zoned in on
here's
44.
the thing. You're saying
number
this.
44.
You're saying this about the coach. The coach ain't the one that's going to be the one doing the drafting.
No, but he'll be getting fired.
He very well
fired.
could.
He'll be the next one in line.
But he's not going. He's
Okay.
the one.
Where do y'all see 44 Penn State tight end going?
Top 10.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Somewhere in the 8-9 range.
I'm thinking Jets.
Jets.
I don't think he'll.
Jets or Panthers.
Unless the Jets try to draft to get a quarterback, which I don't know why they would now. I don't think he'll go past the Jets.
Well, honestly, the Titans shouldn't be throwing their ring in the hat for quarterback out of this draft. They
No.
should be getting a veteran player to put a Band-Aid on, get this tight end, trade down, get this tight end, and get them some other pieces. We got so many pieces.
Okay.
And all these, that's just
Well, guys, I can name you. You've got about 6 defensive linemen I can name you, and you've got no edge players at all. You have Arden Key, who's a situational guy, and nobody else on defense. Nobody.
I just
60 tackles, though.
I heard somebody talk the other day, and I thought, man, that's Kenny Parker talking about what do you got to do to win the Super Bowl. He said you got to make sure you got a good offensive line. You got to make sure you got a good defensive line. Until you got a good offensive line, you got a good defensive line. Don't go putting your marbles anywhere else. You get those 2 pieces satisfied. We look at Kansas City. Kansas City was good a couple years ago. They had a good offensive line. They still had a great defensive line this year.
Oh, yeah.
But their offensive line was horrible. And then the guard from Tennessee that was up for free agency.
Trey Smith.
What they do to him?
Franchised him.
They franchised him. Why? Because Andy Reid knows he's got to have it. He couldn't afford to lose him because he couldn't replace him.
so. Kenny, what you're saying is, no matter whether you're passing it or you're running, you still got to control the line of scrimmage.
Got to control the line of
Well, even if
scrimmage.
you got it better, now you do take a quarterback. How are you going to be successful when Calvin Ridley's the only NFL quality receiver you have for the young quarterback?
Well, when you can run it, and you can throw it. But if you can't throw it, if you can't run it, you're not going to beat people just throwing it. What made
And what happens if you do take Ward and he gets hurt? Who's the
What
quarterback?
made Philadelphia's
Your boy Allen.
offense so good this year? What made Philadelphia's offense so good this year? Barkley, because now he could run, and because he could run, you had the receivers that could get open.
But wait a minute, they also have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. We have Van Jefferson, folks. Outside of Calvin Ridley, Mr. Jefferson. That's all you get. A bunch of undrafted people.
What do the Titans do with mayonnaise? Levis.
I'm assuming he's traded on draft day. I still think Jacksonville will trade for him because they let Matt Jones go. They need a backup quarterback, and Liam Cohen was his offensive coordinator.
Well, what's the Titans going to do?
He does have the physical too.
And the thing about it is, if he goes, now you've got your third stringer from.
I'm right there with you. So
well, they're going to take Cam Ward. That's what y'all are saying.
That's what I'm saying now. They've telegraphed.
Are they counting on him being a starter right out of the gate?
I think there's better quarterbacks in the third or fourth round, or maybe the fifth round of the draft, than the Cam Ward to start with. I would, we don't get a quarterback first round. Oh, we don't get Cam Ward. Get one in the third or fourth round, he's going to be just as good. If you build your offensive line to protect and to do some of those things, or maybe get a weapon and then get a quarterback down there, now you got something. But if you go get a quarterback, then you're not going to get your other stuff.
I would have outbid the Jets for Justin Fields. He'd be my quarterback. And then I had the option to do whatever I wanted to do. Then I could trade down. Then I might draft somebody, might not let Fields play it for a couple of years.
Well, we sit back and let all those guys get signed somewhere. So
and
what's left?
He went for 2 years, $40 million. He was cheaper, Justin Fields, than Dan Moore was the tackle for Pittsburgh.
And that's the thing. Everybody wants the quarterback, the running back, what I call the pretty positions.
Yeah.
They don't want the grunters.
The grunters.
The grunters, the ones that you don't never hear about. They want the pretty positions, the ones that's going to get the others. And
well, Kenny, I'm going to argue with you on this. We're starting to hear about these linemen because they're knocking down some money.
Exactly.
You look at some of these contracts because they got to have them.
Well, the Titans line on paper right now.
But we're hearing about them now.
Exactly.
So the grunters are making some noise.
Exactly. Now they are.
They are.
They are.
I'm going to ask y'all this. Going to Shedeur Sanders. You talk about Cam. All right, Shedeur Sanders. Is he a Kyler Murray or a Bryce Young? Which is he?
He needs to go to the right place.
Yeah. He can be successful.
And Daddy has to stay out of the business.
I think he will.
And I'll say this. We say this about Sanders. Let's talk about the young man that the Titans lost to the Packers. Willis. You get him in the right situation and adapt to what he does and put people around, he's going to be successful. Why was he a little more successful at Green Bay than he was at Tennessee? Because Green Bay's offensive line was so much better, and they went to his strengths.
That's it.
That's what you've got to do.
How many quarterbacks have y'all seen over the years that were put into a system that didn't fit them, and they wasn't going to change for anything because of stubbornness or whatever?
That's exactly
and
right.
those quarterbacks never had a shot.
Well, I'll say this. I think Shedeur Sanders is a better fit for Callahan's offense than Cam Ward is. But I think Cam Ward will be a better quarterback in the National Football League.
I don't think either one of them will be a quarterback in 4 years.
You may be right.
I agree with you.
Jackson Dart, he reminds me a lot of Bo Nix. He'll be the third quarterback taken, but he may end up being the best of the bunch.
I think you're right.
And fortunately for him, he's going to go at the end of the first and second to a good team.
Here's the deal we're going to say with that. Why is Bo Nix so good? Because he's got a coach that adapted to his system and worked to his system. Because you think that guy that's coaching Bo Nix, he had a guy by the name of Breeze that nobody wanted, and he got him, and he adapted. That's what you've got to do.
But I would have seen Russell Wilson or even Aaron Rodgers here. It's to have Brandon Allen. I'm sorry.
You got to give this coach at Tennessee more than 1 or 2 years to develop and go. If you fire him this year because they weren't, he's still playing with he's still playing with other people's stuff.
Oh yeah,
you got to give him a chance to get his stuff. And after about 3 years or 4, if he ain't doing it, hit the road and get to somebody else. But don't just do it a 1 or 2 years and go. If you do that, nobody's going to want
Wonder
to
what the
work
Todd
for you.
Bobo over and under is December 1. He's not the Titans coach.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if he's not the Titans coach, November 1, 2 years later, there's
Looking
going to be
back on
another
it, looking back on it, was firing Vrabel a mistake?
I think so.
I mean, Vrabel didn't have no trouble getting a job after he left.
You wouldn't have been 3-14 last year if Mike Vrabel been a coach. I'm just saying.
Well, you know why? Because the players that they had on the roster were the ones that Mike Vrabel had built to fit his style. Now, is Callahan's style and Vrabel's style the same? No, but all the players that he had were for Vrabel's style instead of Callahan, the offensive players.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any?
Huh?
The offensive players. Just being serious.
Did Vrabel have any? Did Vrabel have any?
No, we hadn't had any in years.
All right, then.
We can't draft receivers.
Derrick Henry was a Vrabel player.
Exactly.
That's what he was. Pound it.
And Derrick Henry is the reason that they were successful.
Right.
And they had a good offensive line. Think about, when were the Titans last good? When were they really good?
A.J. Brown.
Not A.J. Brown didn't do it.
He had a big part of it.
Well, you can say A.J. Brown.
And Derrick Henry.
A.J. Brown wasn't even there when you had.
He was there when you made the AFC title game the last time.
When you had LeWan and when you had the good Ben Jones and all the good offensive linemen.
Yeah, he was there.
When you had all the good offensive, he was a rookie or something.
Yeah.
But the years before that, when they were good, they had good offensive linemen. They had good defensive linemen. That's when they were good.
What do y'all think?
Their offensive and defensive linemen aren't going to win you the games. You got to have the pretty picture. You got to have the pretty picture.
What's the best unit on the team? Is it the defensive line?
Yes, absolutely. Well, with no edge players, but yeah.
Right. To me, they
right up the middle. They're good.
They only have 2 defensive linemen now.
Oh, I know.
And
they're good.
Yeah, but those 2 guys can play. Those 2 guys can play.
Really weak at linebacker. The secondary, if you could get them healthy on paper, should be good. Now, Xavier Woods, I forgot to mention him as safety. Guess where he's out of? They did sign him a 2-year deal. Carolina Panthers again.
Hey, but
there's another thing. Panthers and Jaguars.
Exactly.
How many defensive linemen you say were really good there? You take something were to happen, you take Simmons away, or you take Sweat. Now they're just average at best.
This Draymond Jones, if you leave him at D line, is good. Sebastian Day is good.
But you just ridiculed.
Yeah, because to be an edge rusher. I can't put a D tackle and make him an outside
linebacker. We need to wind things down here. Y'all can continue this out in the parking lot.
It ain't happening out in the parking lot today. Can you not hear the parking lot?
Yeah, we hear it. We hear it out there. It's pouring down rain. But guys, thanks for sitting down again. It's been fun. Fun chatter. Thanks for watching.
Did anybody else tune in for us?
Yeah, there was a few coming in there.
12 o'clock, Tennessee Auburn.
Yep, 12 o'clock, Tennessee Auburn, and get out and support your Bedford County sports teams. We'll be back next week, and we thank our sponsors, First Bank.